His name is mentioned quite often as a finalist for a potential VP pick. It really seems to be coming down to you, Doug Burgum, Marco Rubio, Tim Scott. I got to imagine that's pretty overwhelming. Senator, your thoughts?
Well, Sean, it's an incredible honor to be considered with those guys. I think Donald Trump has got a lot of talented people we could choose from. And the most important thing, of course, is just that we reelect him, because that's what matters, is re-delivering peace and prosperity for the American people. And I think all of us believe that Donald Trump can do that because he has done that. We have to remember, Sean, that the stakes in this election are so unusual and they're so obvious. Never in my lifetime have we had an election where you have one guy who governed for 4 years successfully, one guy who governed for 4 years catastrophically, and whether it's Joe Biden at the top of the ticket or Kamala Harris, who, of course, has covered for Biden's cognitive decline and defended every policy from his disastrous border policy to his disastrous foreign policy, it really doesn't matter because the results speak for themselves. Trump delivered peace and prosperity. He delivered lower grocery prices and higher wages, and the Democrats have delivered exactly the opposite. That's a really good record for us to run on, and I think Republicans are going to benefit up and down the ballot from that record and from those results.
I keep pointing out the great cover-up and the great lie. Prior to the election in 2020, I was showing videos of Joe Biden's cognitive decline, and it's gotten worse, but it was very obvious before the 2020 election. Nobody could ever tell me with a straight face that they didn't see that what we were witnessing and playing every single night. The fact that they all covered it up, the media mob covered it up, the Democrats covered it up, the people around Biden covered it up. What's your reaction to that?
Oh, it's so shameful, Sean. If we just talk about Kamala Harris, this is a person who for 4 years has saddled the United States with a president who can't do the job, and she did it all for political power. She knew that whether it was now or 4 years from now, she would be the person who stood to inherit the presidency. Well, what about the American people? What about having a president who doesn't invite Russia and other countries to be aggressive? What about having a president who doesn't invite Iran and Hamas to attack our allies? What about having a president who can function in the job and talk to world leaders without embarrassing us and, God forbid, causing a nuclear war on every single issue? Kamala Harris actually is responsible for Joe Biden's disastrous presidency because she's covered for it. And like every other Democrat in elected leadership in this country, Sean, they all have gone on TV, on radio, on newspapers and said for years that Joe Biden can do the job and he's doing just fine. Well, now we know they were lying, and we should punish them for lying to our faces about it.
Well, this election, the American people, they will render the final verdict, and this is an inflection point for the country. Senator, we appreciate you being with us, as always. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.